Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be showing you a whole lot of books that I am unhauling. And most of these are just books that I've read and were not favorites. I don't keep any books that were not 5-star favorites unless they are like a collectible item or special to me in some way. So, doesn't mean I hated the book, but I also have recently gone through my TBR shelves and picked out a bunch that I haven't read that I am willing to give up to make room for new books. Oh, it's sad when you have to do that, but there are books I'm more excited about than those that I took off the shelf. So it is worth it. I also have a stack of books that I have pulled out of my Unhaul pile that I'm going to save for possible giveaways. I have a couple giveaways that might be coming soon, and those might be add-ons for that. They're more recent release buzzy books, or were big buzzy books in the past, or are really interesting indie books that I think would be liked by a wide range of people. So those books I have set aside, and I'm not planning on showing those so that the giveaways will be a surprise. But I have a bunch of other books. I'm going to start with the mass market paperbacks. Most of these are paranormal romance books, and I still like the genre, but I don't read it very much. And I have way too many series, like the first book in tons of series, and I don't think I'm ever going to get to them. I need to start, like, just work on finishing the ones that I have started, and those are the ones I kept, and there's a bunch. And I have a couple that I'm super excited to read that I kept, but these ones are gonna go. This one is actually in a series I've started. I got one of the more recent books in a Bubbles and Books box. That's Serpentine by Lauren K. Hamilton. But I've only read the first book, and this is like, I don't even know, way down the line. Is there a list? Oh my gosh. It's like book 26 or something. Like, I'm never gonna get to this, ever. And what I've heard is at some point this series takes a turn and it becomes less story and more romance, like smut. So I think I'm going to be stopping this series at some point. I do have the second book. I plan on reading that one. The first one was pretty good. Slave to Sensation by Nalini Sign. Yep, just too many series. Ill Wind by Rachel Kane. If I have decided to get rid of a series that is literally the best urban fantasy or paranormal romance series, then go ahead and let me know. I'm not beyond being influenced. Undead and Unwed by Mary Janice Davidson. And Magic to the Bone by Devin Monk. Then I have a couple books that I took off my shelf to bring back to the used bookstore because I'm not as excited about them. I have Forsaken by Michael McBride. I have read a alien book by Michael McBride and I really liked it, so I was excited to see this one in the used bookstore. But it is part of a series. I'm not sure how, like, way down the line in a series, the Unit 51 series, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna return that one. Gotta read the first one first, right? And then Velocity by Dean Koontz, because I thought this book was something else. Another of his books. Intensity. Velocity, intensity. Anyways, I think intensity is the one I want to read. So, getting rid of velocity. Then I have a couple of books pulled out that I think my niece is really gonna like. So I'm gonna give those ones to her. She really likes historical fiction and general fiction. So I'm gonna give her The Incarnations by Susan Barker. And I think this is a fantasy kind of based in maybe Chinese lore, something like that, about reincarnation. Atonement by Ian McEwan, and this was made into a movie. I have already seen the movie, and I decided if I've already seen the movie and I'm not desperate to read the book, then I'm just gonna get rid of the book. I've already seen the story. And I think she'll like Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine as well. Gail Honeyman. This is a book I really, really like this book, but I'm not going to read it again. So I'm going to give it to my niece to read. I have one comic book that I'm giving away. That is Batwoman. The New 52. Apparently this is volume 2. I didn't realize it was volume 2. Thought I was getting volume 1. So, not going to start with volume 2. And I'm just not as interested in checking this out anymore than when I bought it. I have The Vampire Lestat by Anne Rice. Like this book. Gonna continue on with the series, but I don't feel like I need to own them or reread them at any point. So that's gonna go. The Sandman by Lars Kepler. It's been on my shelf forever. Sounds cool. Like, I was really into serial killer mystery thrillers for a while and picked up a bunch of them, but now I don't read them as much, and I have certain ones in mind that I know I really want to read, and then some of the other ones are getting put aside. Never Look Away by Linwood Barclay. Heard about this somewhere, but I have never had the urge to read it ever, and it's been too long, so it has to go. It's about a family that goes to the fair and their son is stolen. I believe. Yep, 4-year-old son. Just not reading as much crime thrillers anymore, even though I do like the occasional one. They are a lot of fun. A YA book, Moxie by Jennifer Mathau. Was excited about this when it first came out. Feminist, girls, rock kind of YA story, but seems like I've missed the boat on this one. My excitement to read it is gone. I have Quantum Shadows by L.E. Modesitt Jr. Science fiction book, The Last Swordmaker by Brian Nelson. I realize I have quite a few books that I got in my Thrill Club boxes and my sci-fi boxes. It's so fun to get those boxes and get books that you haven't really heard of but sound interesting, but then I never read them because they're not the ones that I'm super jazzed about. So now they're getting unhauled. That's why I canceled that subscription. But this is The Last Swordmaker is a thriller, and I don't know if it's like a spy thriller, something like that, but it takes place in Tibet, China, US. It's like a globe-trotting type thriller. The Ambassador's Wife by Jennifer Steele, another My Thrill Club book about a ambassador's wife that is in a really strained situation in the Middle East and is kidnapped, I believe. So it does sound pretty good, but I'm probably not going to read it. I have 9 by Zach Hines. Got this when it was new, little sci-fi YA book about if people had 9 lives. And I've never really gone to pick it up at all. So that one's going. Same with this YA book, The Point by John Dixon, about a school for, like a high school for kids with superpowers, like X-Men type thing. Oh, thank you. I am no longer into superhero type books. It used to be. I used to like those a lot, but not anymore, really. Then Dominion by C.J. Sansom. It's a big one. Another My Thrill Club book. This one is an alternate history book, if taking place in the UK, I think, if Germany and its allies had won World War II, what that would look like. Interesting premise, but not one I am very likely to read, I think. And Renegades by Marissa Meyer. Got this on sale, and it is a superhero book from Marissa Meyer. I did like her Lunar Chronicles, like a sci-fi twisted fairy tale type series, but I'm not so interested in the superhero ones anymore, so that's gonna go. Okay, I have one more stack. This is a lot of books. I have Within These Walls by Anya Albarn, which is her cult book, and I did like this book, but it's not one of my favorites from her. It's not one of my favorite books. I'm probably not going to reread it, so it's going to go to a new home. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, a very fun romance, but not too often do I reread romance. Not anymore, anyway. So that's going. I have Lucky by Alice Sebold, which is a memoir. The Snowman by Joe Nesbo, another serial killer mystery novel, I believe, or a killer detective. Not one that I'm planning on reading anytime soon, so this is one I've read, Breaking the World by Jerry Gordon. It was pretty good. It's based on true events with, of course, fictionalized things to make it more horror. It's based on the Branch Davidian Church in Waco, Texas. Pretty good, but I'm not gonna read it, and I didn't like it so much that I want to keep it. I'll give it to someone else too, who might like it even more than me. Exhalation by Ted Chiang. There were some stories that I really loved in here, but some not so much. And overall, it was just okay, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. Moon Glow by Michael Chabon, and I have not read this. I don't even know what it's about anymore. So I saw it on my shelf and I said, well, that's gonna go because I don't even know what it is anymore. Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. I have already seen the movie, I already know the twist, and I think I don't need to read it. Room by Emma Donoghue. Again, I've already seen the movie, I already know what happens, so I probably don't need to read that. The Devil's Equinox by John Everson. This is a horror novel that I liked, but there were a lot of things that I did not like about it. It's just too much for me, but maybe it'll be someone else's thing. The Rosie Project. It's a romance book between someone on the spectrum and someone who's not. And I don't know, this is an older book, I don't know about the representation anymore, and it's just like I've waited so long that my desire to read it has faded. The Novice by Taryn Matheru. The Summoner series, book 1. I found this at the Goodwill for $1 and I got it, but I'm not gonna read it. YA, I think. YA fantasy. After by Anna Todd. A romance that was originally written on Wattpad, and then it was really popular for a while, but I don't want to read it anymore. That's what it comes down to. And Digital Fortress by Dan Brown. I am still planning on finishing his main series. What is that even called? But the one with Da Vinci Code. But I don't think I'm gonna get to Digital Fortress. I have heard that's a pretty good one of his, but yeah, I'm not, with all these other books that I want to read, I don't think I'm going to be getting to that one. Were there any books in here that I should rethink giving away? Is there any of these books in here that you would want to get in a giveaway? You can let me know and I will save them. And I will be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.